Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Today, Miss
Levi Mandak,
and Miss
Donna Christian Mendoza,
are here to help you understand
the why
and how
of school and community partnership. So let's
Tuwing pahina'y binubuklat, nararating ko ang gubat. Naririnig ko ang himin ng dumadaloy na batis. Hinahagkan ako ng
Learning outcome. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to explain what school and community partnership means, explain the legal and sociological basis of school and community partnership, and cite examples of school and community partnerships. Activity. Let's do this.
Number 1. Based on your school experiences, list down ways by which a community helps a school and ways by which a school helps a community. Come up with an exhaustive list. Number 2. Group yourselves by 6. Compare your list. Come up with a final list in which communities help schools and in which schools helps communities.
Let's analyze. Based on your group list, is there real relationship between school and community? Or do you find one party, like the school, more favored because it gets more help than the other? Defend your answer. Abstraction. Let's conceptualize. Opportunities for school-community partnership. Partnership implies two parties helping each other. Both parties benefit. This means that if a school-community partnership exists, both parties benefit from the relationship. Thus, in the following paragraphs, we shall present what communities can do for schools and what schools can do for communities. Today, we were going to learn about different services and opportunities that a school and community can offer to each other. We are going to determine what are the relationship of school and community and the benefits that they get from one another. What can the community do for schools? Here are examples of what a community can do for schools.
Brigada Eskwela. This program engage all education stakeholders to contribute their time, effort, and resources in ensuring that public school facilities are set in time for the forthcoming school opening. It takes place more or less 2 weeks before classes begin in June. This is a school maintenance program that has been institutionalized since 2009 when DepEd issued DepEd Order Number 100. So as we all know, it is an activity or program that helps the school prepare for the opening of classes. It allows people of the community volunteer their time and skill for the maintenance of the school.
This can mean use of community resources for learning. Example given is the museum, elders of the community as key informants in research or resource person in the study of local history. Another opportunity that the community can offer for school is to give resources for learning. For example, are information that learners need in order to know or understand the local history. Community constructed museums for learners to visit and acquire knowledge about the important events in their locality. Elders of the community are also reliable sources for students that has queries about history.
Work experience programs. Business establishments and offices in the community can serve as training ground for learners. A concrete example is the work immersion required of senior high school students. In this work immersion, students are given the opportunity to work in relevant establishments or offices in the community to help develop in them the competencies, work ethics, and values relevant to pursuing further education and or joining the world of work. Partner offices for immersion provide senior high school students with opportunities. First is to become familiar with workplace. second, for employment simulation, and third, to apply their competencies in areas of specialization or subjects in authentic work environments. Enclosure to DepEd Order Number 30.3.2017. This is school community partnership. The school can fulfill what curriculum requires and may improve on their curriculum based on community feedback. Enables the student to undergo hands-on work experience, while community establishment contribute to the formation of graduates who are more ready for life and more equipped to the world of work. Business establishments or any world of work in the community are the ultimate beneficiaries of these graduates, who have been more prepared through work immersion. Some schools call this service learning since it actively involves students in a wide range of experiences which benefits students and the community at the same time fulfilling the requirement of a curriculum.
Remediation and enrichment classes in which parents and retired teachers may be involved in the school reading remediation and learning enrichment programs. Remediation and enrichment classes are also part of community and school partnership. The participation of parents and other members of the community on reading remediation and learning enrichment programs will help students to grow and enhance their academic skills. Remedial classes that has collaboration with parents and retired teachers will help pupils develop good learning habits and attitude such as complete the assignment steadily and be responsible and disciplined.
Youth development programs. The young may involve themselves in youth development programs and develop their skills and talents. Learn how to deal positively with peers and adults and serve as resources in their communities. It allows youths prepare for the challenges that they will encounter as adolescents and adulthood. It is a condition that promotes healthy youth development that were supported through programs and activities in school and communities.
Examples of community service are students participating in tutorial programs, community reforestation programs, clean up drive for a river, assisting in medical mission, school head involved in planning local celebrations, teachers managing programs, projects, activities, school band playing in fiesta parade. In special occasions and in different activities in the community, there are participation coming from schools and learners, teachers, and even school head have played important role in community service. For young people, volunteer work provides a way to gain a variety of useful skills, to understand the community in which they live, and to enhance community life. What can schools do for communities in return? Schools may allow the community to use school resources. Here are concrete examples enumerated by the DepEd Primer on School Community Partnership. Bullet number 1. Classroom used by community organizations for meetings. Bullet number 2. School used as a polling place and venue for medical mission which it may co-sponsor with the Rural Health Unit. Bullet number 3. School used by the Rural Health Unit for mothers' class on child care. Bullet number 4. School used as an evacuation center. Bullet number 5. School facilities used for community assemblies. Bullet number 6. School basketball court used for local celebrations and barangay sports league. Bullet number 7. Schools conduct livelihood skills training programs for parents and out-of-school youths by using school resources. Bullet number 8. Livelihood skills training for parents and out-of-school youths by teachers themselves. Learning from the experiences of schools and community partners. Here are concrete examples. Number 1. Dumingaga Central School, Dumingag, Zamboanga del Sur. Strong School Community Partnership. Feeding program was maintained by community donors, Mother Butler Mission Guild, barangay councils, office of the mayor, parents who budgeted, cooked, purchased. Kiddie Cup classes. CAPS lectures on good manners and right conduct, drug addiction, child abuse, child welfare. Municipal Welfare and Development Office. Municipal Health Office conducted special classes on health and nutrition, rights of the child.
Angel's Magic Spot and Project Reach, etc. Pembo Elementary School, Makati. Pembo Angel's Magic Spot, or PAMS, were the volunteer environmental steward students of Pembo Elementary School, while magic spots were the small dump sites or empty lots in the barangay which were converted by the students into vegetable gardens from which members of the barangay could harvest for home supply. The school further feeding program and sold them for cash for the purchase of seedlings and planting of more vegetables. PAMS brought together students, teachers, school head, parents, barangay officials, and other members of the community, cleaned up little nooks for garbage and converted them into green areas where vegetables shared by all. It also taught gardening skills and positive attitude toward work to students and supplemented the feeding program for the underweight and the malnourished in the school. Project Bowls, or the brain operates well on loaded stomachs. Another effective practice was Project Revitalize Enthusiasm for Assistance to Children of Humanity, or REACH, where each teacher adopted one student and acted as his or her mentor for the entire school year. The teacher gave free tutorial to the adopted student during his or her free time. Visit the student's family every now and in some instances, gave the student a daily allowance of 10 pesos from the teacher's own pocket. This contributed to improved performance of Pembo Elementary School, 23rd in the rank in the Division Achievement Test, zoom up to the rank 9 and 6 years later rank 1. They were also near zero dropout rate. Urbanidad kids were ideal students who acted as role models for the students and the Pembo community. They were the cleanest, most well-mannered, and most diligent in class. Bowels means brain operates well on the loaded stomach. Every recess, children who were selected by the school as bowls beneficiaries due to the malnutrition were provided a free bowl of lugaw. Pera sa Panapon was a weekly trash market where students, their parents, and other members of the community were invited to bring their recyclable garbage. The project helped the school purchase the necessary supplies and was able to support 2 students to a 2010 math competition in Singapore.
Sociological basis of school-community partnership. The functionalist theory states that institutions must perform their respective functions for the stability of society. Other institutions must come in if one institution fails to do its part for the sake of society. The school cannot do it all. It takes a village to educate a child, so goes the African proverb. It has to work in partnership with other institutions in the community such as the church, government organizations, and non-government organizations. With the breakdown of families, schools face greater challenge in educating the young. The rearing and education of the child is the primary obligation of parents. The school, the church, and other social institutions come in to assist parents and families to fulfill their replaceable obligation. the breakdown of marriages, the demand for both mother and father to work to meet the demands of a rising cost of living, resulting to less or practically no more time for parents to spend time with their children have, however, attacked the stability of families and have adversely affected families in the performance of their irreplaceable duty to educate children. Added to this is the increasing number of families composed of single mothers struggling to raise a family, with the burden of earning large solely on the shoulders of one parent. Single parents struggle to earn enough to provide for their families. Consequently, this responsibility leads to their having a limited amount of time to spend for and with growing and developing children who, unfortunately, become more likely single-parent families themselves. The cycle goes on. This is not to mention the negative effect of uncontrolled and unregulated use of technology on the young. While the use of technology has brought a lot of convenience, its uncontrolled and unregulated use by the tech-savvy kids expose these kids to all sorts of information not necessarily favorable for their development. So families, schools, and other social institutions need to work together to save the youth. Legal basis for parents and community involvement. It is no wonder why even our laws support school-community partnership. RA 9155, Governance of Basic Education Act, Section E, page 10, explicitly states that one of the responsibilities of school heads is establishing school and community networks and encouraging the active participation of teachers, organizations, non-academic personnel of public schools, and parents-teachers community associations.
Section number 3 of the same Act encourages local initiatives for the improvement of schools and learning centers and to provide the means by which improvements may be achieved and sustained. Batas Pangbansa bilang 232, otherwise known as the Educational Act of 1982. Section 7 states that every educational institution shall provide for the establishment of appropriate bodies through which the members of the educational community may discuss relevant issues and communicate information and suggestions for assistance and support of the school and for the promotion of their common interest. Representatives from each subgroup of the educational community shall sit and participate in these bodies, the rules and procedures of which must be approved by them and duly published.
Another law, RA 8525, Adapt a School Program Act, also provides for school community partnership. It allows private entities to assist a public school, whether elementary, secondary, or tertiary in, but not limited to the following areas: staff faculty development for training and further education, construction of facilities, upgrading of existing facilities, provision of books, publications, and other instructional materials, and modernization of instructional technologies.
Even the Philippine Education of All or EPA 2015 plan, the envision of the holistic program of reforms that aim to improve the quality of basic education for every Filipino by end of 2015 likewise states, schools shall continue to harness local resources and facilitate involvement of every sector of the community in school improvement process.
This EPA 2015 plan was extended in education for all beyond 2015 Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030 has 7 new educational targets from 2015 to 2030 that must involve education stakeholders, which in essence is a school-community partnership. UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education, Dr. Chian Tang himself admits that Agenda 2030 cannot be realized without schools partnering with community. He said, "Our vision must be more aggressive, more committed, not just involving government, non-government agencies, but all stakeholders."
Public Act 9155 states that partnership between school and community also ensures that 1. Educational programs, projects, and services take into account the interests of all members of the community. 2. The schools and learning centers reflect the values of the community by allowing teachers or learning facilitators and other staff to have flexibility to serve the needs of all learners. 3. Local initiatives for the improvement of schools and learning centers are encouraged, and the means by which these improvements may be achieved and sustained are provided. So, schools and communities function better when they work as team.
Good day. I am Mr. Waldo Ortiz Magkulang, Principal 2 of Lupak Tabigi Elementary School, Lupak, Buwak, Marinduque. In this school, we have 3 master teachers and the rest are teacher 1, teacher 2, and teacher 3. They are all in all 15 cooperative teachers. I started my teaching profession last September 5, 1991 and was assigned at Hinapulan Elementary School, Hinapulan, Buwak, Marinduque. I'm handling grade 6 pupils and I can say that teaching in the hinterlands is a great sacrifice for the learners, a great sacrifice for teachers as well as learners. But teaching is not only a profession, it's a vocation. After 6 years of handling elementary pupils at Hinapulan Elementary School, I was transferred to Central School, Don Luis Hidalgo Memorial School, and spent my 7 years handling hearing impaired pupils. That is from 1997 to 2004. In 2004, I was promoted as Head Teacher 3 and assigned at Hinapulan Elementary School for almost 6 months and then transferred to Agot Elementary School for 9 years. At Agot Elementary School, there are lots of challenges because as a principal or as a school head of that particular institution, you need to make some changes, some innovations in the physical as well as in the academic, shall I say, academic aspects. Doon sa Agot, marami naming natapos ng mga programs and projects na for the learners. And then, nandun na magkaroon kami ng fundraising, nagsasayawan kami na merong para makikitahin, magkaroon ng pondo para makapagpagawa ng isang projects. At ako natutuwa because parents are very supportive in the school for as long as they know that yung mga kikitahin doon igagawa ng mga proyekto para sa kagandahan ng paaralan at sa ikatutulong ng kanilang mga anak. And then, after that, I passed the national qualifying exam for principals, for school heads, and promoted as Principal 1. And then I was transferred to Lupac Tabiga Elementary School for 1.5 years. And then after that, I transferred to, doon sa Lupac Tabiga Elementary School, nadala ko rin yung yung paghingi ng tulong sa mga parents, yung nagkaroon kami ng Mr. and Mrs. Valentine's, kung saan nakalikom kami ng pondo para makapagpagawa kami ng covered catwalk para yung mga bata hindi na mababasa kung lilipat na sa ibang silid-aralan. At napagtagumpayan naman namin yon. And then after 1.5 years, I was transferred to Buliasnin Elementary School. Doon sa Buliasnin Elementary School naman, ang problema namin doon ay tubig. So, ang ginawa ko, I seek the help of the alumni. It's good na merong alumni organization sa Buliasnin Elementary School at napakalaki ng naitulong sa amin ng alumni ng Buliasnin Elementary School kasi binigyan nila kami ng pondo para matulungan kaming makapagpatakid ng tubig. Nakapagpahukay kami doon ng tangke ng tubig at napakinabangan naman namin yun. And then nagkaroon din kami ng fundraising na kung saan doon naman namin binili yung mga gamit para sa gagamitin namin sa computer room. Kasi at that time ay merong DepEd computerization na binibigay ang Department of Education, wherein ang counterpart ng school ay ayusin yung paglalagyan ng mga computer, ng mga laptops, and then yung mga connections, yung wirings. Kaya yun, nagawa naman namin na nakalikom kami ng sapat na pondo para mapaayos namin yung isang room doon at nailagay yung computer room na kung saan ay nakatulong ng malaki sa mga bata with regards to technology. And then, after 2 years at Buliasnin Elementary School, I was transferred at Balimbing Elementary School. Dito sa Balimbing Elementary School, nag-organize naman ako dito ng alumni. So, first, alumni homecoming. Masayang-masaya ang mga tao doon. Maraming umattend. At nakalikom kami ng pondo para nakapagpagawa din kami ng project nila na covered catwalk din. Kasi meron dong space na kailangan dumaan ng mga bata kung umuulan, nababasa sila. So, yun ang naging priority namin, ang mabubungan yung pathway para doon sa paglipat ng mga bata sa bawat room. And then marami namin, 3 years ako sa Balimbing Elementary School at doon sa 3 years na yon, nagkaroon din kami ng maraming fundraising, mga solicitation sa mga stakeholders na may mabubuting kalooban. They are very supportive and we are very happy for that. Talagang kapag ang iyong mission, ang iyong layunin, ang objectives ay para sa kagandahan ng isang paaralan, hindi magdadalawang isip ang mga stakeholders na tulungan ang inyong paaralan. Kasi nakikita nila na ang inyong mga gawain at layunin ay para sa kapakanan ng kanilang mga anak at sa lahat pa ng papasok sa paaralan ito. So, after 3 years, I was transferred again to Lupac Tabigi Elementary School. So, at present, andito na ako sa Lupac Tabigi Elementary School. At because of the pandemic, limited ang mga yung mga paghingi ng tulong sapagkat siyempre ang lahat ng mga tao ay nagdaranas ng sitwasyon na kung saan ay napakahirap. So, pero hindi doon natapos ang pagsisik ng help natin sa mga stakeholders. Nagkakaroon tayo ng palagiang consultation, palagiang kumustahan sa paaralan. Meron naman tayong ginagawang mga group chat, mga virtual meeting with the barangay officials wherein doon pinag-uusapan ang mga tungkol sa pag-aaral. Ang naitulong ng paaralan sa community ay kung minsan, halimbawa, attend kami ng kanilang meeting and then magbibigay kami ng mga information about the school. So, nagkakaroon din tayo ng mga feeding program galing sa Department of Education na kung saan ang mga wasted and severely wasted learners ay natutugunan ang kanilang mga pangailangan sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng mga masusustansyang pagkain na binibigay naman ng Department of Education. So doon, nagkakaroon ng pagkakaisa ang iba't ibang uri ng mga stakeholders para sa kaunlaran ng mga bata at lalo't higit ay natutulungan na mapalago ang kanilang pag-aaral. So, dito, kailangan mo lang na magplano. Plan your work and work your plan. Kasi hindi basta-basta matutugunan ang isang bagay kung hindi tayo magkakaroon ng isang plano na kung saan ay kailangan natin itong pagtulungan. We work hand in hand. We work as one and we heal as one. Thank you very much.
Application. Let's apply. Number 1. Illustrate with a cartoon or a diagram the partnership between school and community. Number 2. Develop a tool to evaluate the extent and quality of school and community partnership. Number 3. Pretend you are an instructor or professor in this professional course. The teacher and the community, school culture, and organizational leadership. Your lesson has this learning outcome. To explain the sociological and legal basis of school and community partnership. How will you proceed? Deliver your lecture. Number 4. School and community partnership. Enhances sense of ownership and sense of belonging. What do this mean? How will this impact on schools and communities? Takeaways. First bullet. School and community partnership means school head, teachers, learners, parents of learners, and non-teaching personnel working together with civic and religious leaders, alumni, other parents, non-government organizations, government organizations for the good of children. Second bullet. The upbringing of children is the main and irreplaceable duty and responsibility of the family. But with the weakening influence of the family on the upbringing of children and the children's unlimited exposure to modern technology like the internet, the challenge for schools to teach the young has become even greater. So schools cannot do it all. They have to partner with community. Third bullet. In this partnership, children, the primary customers of schools, are most benefited, but school and community are likewise mutually benefited. Fourth bullet. RA 9155, also known as the Governance of Basic Education Act, BP 232, which is the Education Act of 1982, RA 8525, Adopt a School Program Act, and Agenda 2030 stipulate school and community partnership. Bullet number 5. There are many opportunities for school and community partnership. The Brigada Eskwela, which is now institutionalized in DepEd schools, is a glaring proof of school and community partnership. Schools, with all its human and material resources, can offer services also to the community in many ways. Let's check for understanding.
Can a school take the place of families in the rearing of children? Why or why not? What sociological reality in the Philippines and in the world demand that school partner with the community or church, mass media, business establishment, etc. for the education of the children? 3. State the provision of law that refer to the school-community partnership. 4. Cite additional example of school-community partnership that benefit the young.
Let's reflect. In what way am I involved in school and community partnership? What good have I done to school and community? What else can I do? Taking it to the net.
Research on successful school and partnership in high-performing countries like Finland, Singapore, and Canada.
Let clinchers. Number 1. Which is true of a school and community partnership? A. Community helps school. B. School is a recipient of assistance from community. C. Both school and community benefit. D. Both school and community lose. Number 2. Which program is a fruit of school and community partnership where every month of May, education stakeholders contribute their time, talent, and treasure to ensure that school facilities are set in time for the school opening? A. Parents and Teachers Association Assembly. B. School Governing Council Annual Assembly. C. Brigada Eskwela. D. Palarong Pambansa. Number 3. Which statement is true of school and community partnership? A. Elders in the community can be key informants of a research in local history. B. Parents can help school only in terms of school facilities. C. Donations from politicians are not accepted to prevent electioneering. D. Only school benefits from the partnership. Number 4. It takes a village to educate a child. Which does this statement imply? A. PTA is more than enough partnership. B. Institutionalized school community partnership. C. School can substitute for absentee parents. D. Children need more models. Number 5. Adopt a school program allows private entities to assist which schools? A. Public elementary schools. B. Public secondary schools. C. Public tertiary schools. D. Public schools in all levels.
Bahay na ako'y iyong dalhin sa